Good morning and welcome aboard. This is Trade Along Live with Saul. We're just looking to get underway. Right now it's 9:22 a.m. on January 7th, 2022. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's been taken as direct trading or investment advice. Saul's going to be popping in pretty close to the cash open. He's going to set this morning's levels, his levels and zones. Going to start out with a pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. On a daily basis, we have guests coming in. We have current students coming in. We have subscribers coming into this service, and I'll explain that. We have what we call the Trade Along TradingAcademy.com, TradeAlong This is the segment that we call Trade Along Live with Saul, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on a daily basis, with the body of the trading happening between 9:30 and 11:30. If you're not done here and banked your money for the day based on this service, then we would ask if you'd be interested in our Trading Academy, where you can pick up yourself in or find yourself in a trading room, a private Zoom room with Saul, where he mentors you and schools you in the art of trading. And then he invites you in here as a proving ground, here being this Trade Along Live session, as an access point to him during the live market and a proving ground for you as you're applying your newfound or tuned up trading skills. So we set up the Academy to handle two opportunities here and blend them into one. One is to learn how to trade if you don't have a trading plan or a trading discipline or a trading technique, and that's done in the Academy. It's also for individuals that are close to one. In other words, you've been working on your own, and you'd like to have Saul help you bridge the gap from where you are to consistent profitability, and that's done in the Academy. What's done here is the morning session where we're looking to trade, to take action based on the action of price in the S&P 500 E-mini. What Saul does for himself is what you could do for yourself based on this service. First thing is discipline. The way Saul handles his discipline is that he goes to his screens right around the cash open in a couple minutes, and he sets a roadmap for himself. Starts out with a pivot and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. These become his active fixed areas for this morning's trade. The reason I call them active is because things change. After the morning session starts, if the bell goes off at 9:30, or when the cash market opens, Saul has his levels, but he also is paying attention and doing a critical assessment, a risk assessment for his own trading right after the bell, by witnessing what's happening based on price change and how it's interacting, price change, with his pre-mapped out levels. That's where he calls them levels and zones, because there's nothing fixed in trading. There is an opportunity in and around his levels to put trades on and take them off. But you have to be aware based on the action of price and the impact of that price change on the market this morning. Sounds like a mouthful. The point is that Saul is setting key levels right around the cash open and then looking to respond at those levels as the market ebbs and flows and comes into those levels. And you could do the same thing. I think you'll quickly find that Saul's levels are pretty darn good. I think you'll quickly find that Saul adapts to the current market condition, which you could do also, or you should be able to do based on your current trading skill. And it gives you an advantage over other traders, in our humble opinion, to be here on a daily basis, receive Saul's proprietary scalping levels, plot them into your software, and then go through the morning session with Saul as your guide. In other words, you're trading along live with Sol during the morning session. He's a 25-year veteran trader. He has a trading methodology called price action, and he has learned to set key levels that he looks to count on during this morning session, and you can witness that and be part of it by being part of this service. This is a subscription service. It's nominal, but that means that it's priced pretty darn good for people coming in. It's my humble opinion you should make your money for the entire month of this service today, if you're good at trading. If that's not the case, then you may need to be in Sol's training, his mentoring and his training in the academy, and go into private class with him and tune up what you have, or add in this case, Sol will teach you his price action trading methodology and how to set his proprietary scalping levels. So that's what we do every day. I'll send out the opportunity to review our website. If you're on the fence about this service and haven't ponied up to stay, then consider what you're doing over the weekend, because we're going to be exiting people pretty strongly next week. We reach out to people and ask you what you'd like to do. We expect a legitimate response. If we don't get it, then that's okay. We'll just give you the boot, and we don't want to do that. We want you to stay. We want you to be part of the service for a long time, but you have to play ball. It's funny, it took me a minute. Here's a special discount link. I didn't expect it to be here today, but it's here. So if you're on the fence or you haven't signed up, take a moment to do that. Just send it out to everybody. I sent the link to the website, and also this opportunity to sign up at a discount. I didn't think it was here. I found it. So lucky day. Take a moment, review it, review the website, pick which way you want to go, and make sure that you're registered, signed up, and be part of the family. If you're coming as a guest, great. Come in for a few days, get acclimated, but then we ask you to switch over to a paid subscriber or a member of the family. If you've been lingering and you haven't done anything, advise us what you want to do so that we can help you get set up before you get the boot. Want to make sure everybody is here for the right reason.
We have levels for this morning. Can everybody hear me all right? All right. Our pivot this morning is 46.87. Support at 78, 70, 60, 51, 42. Resistance on the upside at even, 47 even, 08, 16, 25, and 40. Pivot 46.87, resistance 47 even, 08, 16, 25, and 40. Support below at 78, 60, 70, 60, 51, and 42. Okay, on employment day, you can see the initial gyration there after the number was released. they were expecting, the whisper, some said anywhere between 220, 400. The whisper number was 500, and it came out at 199. So market reacts to the non-farm payrolls number usually, even though the unemployment rate is down to 3.9%, if I'm not mistaken, I heard. So the unemployment rate is doing good, but again, as far as what the market looks at, it plays off of, definitely plays off of the non-farm payrolls number, and that was a very nice miss according to the analysts. Again, the whisper number was at 500. But this is unemployment, so be a little bit careful here. Make sure you keep your stops in place and trade accordingly, as the market here is trying to absorb this number. And there's not too many, as far as the bids and offers in the market are concerned. It's kind of pretty wide open there. Not that much. So you're going to get quick moves here. Just make sure you keep your stops in place, and that way we don't get hurt on any of these moves. All right. So 100,000, 199, it came in at. So we'll see what how the market. Well, I mean, look, what can they do? I mean, they already reacted to it as far as what the Fed was going to do. The Fed understands this. I mean, maybe this is just numbers here to validate what the Fed is going to do, I guess, is but again, they kind of knew that already, and they know that already. It was slowly drifting down here to the 78 area. Again, got down to 79 there. Like I said yesterday, it seems that's what we are. Seems that's what we are doing these days. So see what if you got in there at 79 again with the way you are scaling in, you should be in at 79 hopefully, and you get a nice here 4-point rotation off of that top entry point of the move there. Again, we've been saying how it's been doing that for us lately a lot, and so hopefully we've adjusted a little bit. All right, let's see here. All right. The last non-farm payrolls number for 2021 will be released this morning, with expectations that the U.S. economy added 400,000 jobs in December compared to 210 jobs added in November. The figures, which represent a total number of paid workers in the United States minus farm, government, private households, and non-farm nonprofit employees, come as many grow concerned over the direction as the U.S. recovery in 2022. Despite the fears, the unemployment rate is expected to drop to 4.1 from 4.2, and it came at 3.9, with the unprecedented number of job openings across the country. All right, we drifted down there again, tested that. I guess it's had to be 78. Well, they get down to 8.5 there. So be a little bit careful now if you're trading this level now, because obviously it did get triggered a couple times, and you had somewhat of a rotation here off of it a couple times, and even got in here at the 77.5 if you still kept that in there. So nice little rotation here against our look. You're gonna have to trade a little quick here today with the volatility is spiked. You're gonna have to have your orders in place as soon as. Sometimes you don't take your profit and all of a sudden it's completely gone and you're facing a loss. So have your orders in place, that way you get filled, and one way or the other, whether you're getting in or getting out. The non-farm payrolls picture should be taken with a pinch of salt. given the fact that the December figures will not yet capture the impact of the surging Omicron variant unemployment, said some economists. In recent months, the market has also seen a big divergence between actual figures and expectations, like the November jobs report, which showed an increase of 210 despite the forecast of 550. The prior 3 months weren't any better, with calls of 450 in October and 535 actual, 500 in September, and the 194 actual, and 750 in August, and the 235 actual. So they are missing these numbers. But the unemployment rate is down to 3.9. There are several factors in play. What's happening in the Bureau of Labor Statistics is struggling to get data during the pandemic. In fact, the agency already adjusted its initial estimates for payrolls growth by nearly 1 million jobs for 2021, which was the highest adjustment ever. As we continue to downtick here, next support level has down at the 70 area. This is from which the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, forecast its estimates are not responding to surveys in time, which means more assumptions are made in the equation, with several factors such as customary back-to-school adjustments have been upended by COVID-19. Fed policymakers pay close attention to the data. Higher payrolls can contribute to more economic growth, and the market narrative begins to take shape shortly after the first numbers come out. Given that the Fed is now more focused on other side of the dual mandate, price stability versus maximum sustained employment, investors will be particularly focused on some subcomponents of the non-farm payrolls due to concerns about the price wage spiral. Keep an eye on the labor force participation, which reflects people working or actively seeking employment on average and average working hourly earnings that are expected to grow at 0.4% in December. All right, so, and that's why the market is kind of jumping around here, because, you know, is it a bad number? Is it a good number? It is a bad number, but as far as, you know, what the Fed is looking at, maybe it's a good thing. It's not, I mean, I think it was already priced in, so we'll see. I don't know if the number, the miss was priced in, but at least they're giving an excuse for not being able to keep, they are missing it by a lot, which is not normally the case. I mean, we gave you those misses earlier that I told you about. So we can tell that the numbers have been are missing, and they're, you know, and at least you have a reason for them. They can't get the data from all the people giving the data. All right, we've basically just hovering around our pivot area and our blue band, kind of just hanging here, traded on both sides of it. Uh, Again, unemployment has historically been a not your most active number out there. It's been, as far as trading is concerned, kind of a dud. Obviously, we've had more activity the last couple of days than we with the Fed's announcement on Wednesday, and yesterday was a little bit moving around a little bit, gave us a few chances early on. But today it's kind of not really doing much, kind of just range bound here a little bit, even though after the first initial shock, it's basically staying in that same range. All right, market upticking here a little bit. Resistance is up at the even area, really not much there until then. And we're trading both sides of our pivot, both sides of our blue band, so kind of very tough to get any direction whatsoever. It's just a little bit choppy here. All right, market upticking, a little resistance around the even area. Let's see, do we have anything else? We have, as far as reports are concerned, none, but we do have a ton of Fed speaks, well, 3. At 9 o'clock, there's a Fed speak on monetary policy. So right at the top of the hour, and then at 12:15, another Fed speak, and at 12:30, another Fed speak. So there's a few Fed speakers here coming out during, 11:15, and then 12 and 11:30. So this morning after at 9 o'clock, and then there's some more Fed speaks, and these guys, considering they reacted to the market on Wednesday after they've released the minutes, they could create some volatility here in case they say something. All right, coming up here, rotating up here, got up there to 98 this time. Came off here a little bit. We were looking at the even area. So 9 o'clock Fed speak, and then 11:15 and 11:30 some more Fed speaks. So no other numbers are coming out this morning. And they're saying that the Omicron number or fallout is not included in the December, I guess. Started out, I guess, was it December or late December that became an issue? Yeah, I guess. So they say it was not wasn't included in the numbers there. So which means they're not going to be expecting 400,000 next month.
Hey,
Hey, Don, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, you can have your cold weather back.
Oh, no. So I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere, so you can't say I can have it back. It's still here.
Well, it slipped down here. It's
Yeah.
cold here.
Yeah, I think you are actually you're bringing it to us, or maybe Mark. We're just going to blame Mark for it.
All
Mark,
right.
Mark sent it over to us. That's all.
It was nice and 85 degrees yesterday. It was beautiful.
Really?
Sorry.
It's all right. Well, that's nice. No, it is one of the coldest days here in a while. The wind chill was at minus 25 for those of you who are keeping track of that kind of stuff. Minus 25. That's you walk out there and that wind hits you. It is nasty. It hurts. It hurts.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and if it stays constant, it hurts even more. Yeah, it is. It's a tough one.
You know, our clothes here aren't really the wind seems to just cut right through your clothes.
Well, that's because you don't have the proper clothes, probably.
Well, it's just they're not sealed enough. I mean, it actually blows through the material.
Yeah, well, first of all, I hate wearing heavy winter clothes, but I took my winter jacket out. It's a zipper, and then it's buttons across the zipper, so so there's
Keeps
no
the wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it covered in fur?
The hood is yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I can't wear the fur slippers out in the cold. There's not enough protection.
Some furry boots.
Yeah, I don't make those fashion statements like that.
You have the wool lined rubber boots.
I got I have these socks that have these like linings in them that are very. If it's not cold out, that you are sweating. That's all I can say. So I got these like fancy, they're like $25. Somebody bought them for me because a couple of years ago we were golfing in December, and I was complaining about the weather was like 40 or 45, and I used to say that I would never golf unless it was like 60, and then COVID came around and I pushed it to 50, but it had to be sunny. The sun makes a big difference, and then.
Yeah.
They got me to play in the 40s with sun, and it's like, it's cold. So he went and got me these pair of socks that promised that they keep me warm, and they do. I mean, they are just like, they're socks on another level.
Like smart wool.
But it's like the material in there, and it's like, So so don't have any fur on on the boots, but I do have boots, which again, I hate wearing boots. I hate wearing winter clothes, very bulky. And it's not my favorite, but you have to do what you got to do to stay warm.
These kids around here, they fish these fishing tournaments in the winter, and you never know what the weather's going to be like. And they've got some little jackets you buy online, and they're battery powered, but they're heated.
Oh yeah,
And
there you
I'm
go.
going, look at that. Then they've got some other stuff too. It's like a little patch that you stick on your skin, and it warms up. And they stick them all over their back, and they go fishing.
Well, yeah, they have the hand warmers that they use in the NFL, and we have a couple of those that, if it's like some kind of just warms your hands. It's like a packet.
Yeah,
You just keep that packet, and those are cool.
yeah. They just stick them on their backs, and got their little jackets on. They're just toasty.
Yeah, you got to find different ways nowadays with all the technology. There's different ways of staying toasty. Of course, you get to 50 degrees in California and you're freezing.
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I mean, cold. I mean, I feel so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure your heart's breaking. I always invite you to come to Chicago this time of the year. You never show up.
Talking about, I'm trying to bring you to California so I can get you some SPF cream and some suntan lotion. And you decide to stay in the snow.
Well, again, I have an extra coat for you.
I wouldn't make it off the plane.
I'll even give you my socks. Don't worry.
They'd have to drag me off that plane to get onto the snow.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's no snow. It's just cold. I mean, it is just cold. And we did get snow last weekend, and it's it didn't melt because it's been cold ever since. So you have the nice frozen tundra, nice white, on all the grass instead of green. That's something that you would enjoy, because I'm sure you don't know what, white stuff is, so.
Or green.
Yeah. You don't have green either, because you have water shortage out there. But you've had a lot of water lately. Did you guys fill up your reservoirs a little bit?
Not really. Just kind of put a little dent in it, but we still need a lot more. But they said our snow cap right now is up at 168% over normal.
So is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's a really good thing for California.
Oh,
but
okay.
we're still way behind.
Well, there you go.
But we've got a couple more days of rain.
You need a couple of years to catch up.
Exactly.
But you had a lot, though, last week or so.
We did. We almost had a week of rain.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
They had 16 feet of snow in Tahoe.
Yeah, the upper elevations there. As we are hovering around the highs here, interim highs, Canada market is, again, after yesterday's reaction to, or the last couple of days' reaction to the Fed, market is just kind of taking a breather. Unemployment has always been, like I said yesterday, just a dud to trade. Just doesn't really do much, unfortunately, as we are slowly drifting up here to the even area. Yeah. See what it wants to do up here. Seems like doesn't want to get to that even. Always missing everything by a point these days. But we're trying. Anyway, see what happens. Just make sure you keep your stops in place and see. Let that go from there. All right. Again, the 99 is where you should have been, as we been telling you. We've been missing it by a point this whole week. So hopefully you got in at 99. I know we had even. It's not like I do it on purpose. Trust me. I wish I could have told you I put 99 in there, but we did right up to. They get up to 99 and a half quick. I don't think you got filled at 99 and a half though, and came off. Hopefully you were able to jump in there a little bit, take advantage of that little rotation off of our little resistance area up there. And again, like I said, we keep missing it by a point. So it's been the name of the game around here for a week now. Well, hopefully you're able to take advantage of that rotation. So they were getting a lot of snow in New York. I don't know if you guys have heard, but people canceling stuff in New York this morning.
I tell you what, we see a lot of moisture pushed out of the south here, and it gets real humid, and it pushes up to the north, to the northeast, and they're getting our last week's push of humidity coming out of the Gulf up there. That's where all that snow and everything's coming from.
Right, it just goes right up the coast there, and we're missing it. There's snow to the north of us in Wisconsin, and there's snow in Memphis, Tennessee, right south of us, and we're just kind of, and the east is getting it really good. So, but we are missing it over here. So, kind of.
And it was a ton of moisture coming up through there.
Yeah, they got a ton of snow there today.
Aren't you close to Lake Michigan also, Sal? Don't you get that cold breeze off the lake or something like that?
Actually, in the winter, it keeps you a little warmer, believe it or not.
Really?
And it's most of the time the wind goes, east to west. So Michigan, the other side of the lake, gets snow a lot worse than we do. Because if you get the cold weather and the wind goes off the lake, it creates more snow chances, and then so the East Michigan there off the lake gets a ton of snow. Man, but if the wind goes the other way, we do get we do get some snow. I only live actually I don't know, about a mile or so east of the lake. So, and when the wind blows to the west, you're going to get the lake effect snow that they call it. So, but Chicago, for the most part, we just missed that lake effect stuff. When you get a ton of snow and the lake gets covered with snow, it's kind of beautiful, actually. You look at it, it's like, when it first snows, before it gets all dirty and grimy and yucky, and you don't have to go out in it, it looks beautiful. Trees are all covered. Those pictures that you see, I'm sure you've never been experienced it, but you see those pictures of tree-covered, snow-covered trees and beautiful. Yeah, it's nice. And then you have to go out and deal with it. That's the problem. All right. Well, we've basically just traded the range that the market was in after the number, right? It hiccuped, rallied, broke, and basically what we tried to do is go test each end of that move right after the number was released, and now we seem to be floating back to the middle of that range. So very, very quiet. Again, we're not perfect around here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. I'm Saul. The California guy is Mark. The Texas guy is Don, and they've been with me for quite a while, and they add to the conversations on Friday. That's our open mic situation and if anybody has any questions of myself or them, just put it in the chat box and we'll be glad to answer them for you. And if you have a question or if you want to see the levels are in the chat. Again, we use those as a guide to the day. We got down to 79 and rotated up. Then they came back, retested it, got down to get down to there. So get down to 70. I wasn't even. No, got down. Well, it's coming back. Where did it get down to initially? Oh, no. It got down to 75, 4 or 5 area. Right. I'm looking at the wrong bar.
Yeah, almost 75 to the tick.
Yeah. So the 78 worked very nicely. And then coming back up here, hung around our blue band for a bit, rotated up and got up to 99.50 and then came back down. So when we talked about how we're missing our levels by a point these days, so hopefully you are scaling in accordingly. And that way you are staying in the game here a little bit. Giving us a chance to use the market, the volatility in the market to scalp the market for, I'd say, about 3 to 4 points today. That's your stop area and also your profit potential, with probably more if you are trading multiple contracts. Obviously, you're getting some good rotations off of our levels. It just depends on how you manage them. And some manage a little better than others, but as long as we are taking some profits, it doesn't really matter. The cry out for, I only took 2 or 3 points on the trade, but it rallied another 4 or 5, or could have made 4 or 5 more. That comes with a little bit of time and practice, and you're never going to catch it perfectly right all the time. So, just take profits and understand that that's what it is. It's what you can't go broke taking profits.
When you were in the pit sell, did you scale out as well, or were you all in, all out?
No, I scaled out.
Oh, you scaled out as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to, let's say I had 20 lots on, I'd buy 2, 3, 5, just
slowly shed them.
But then again, let's say I was short 17. And like, remember, I'm staying next to a broker, right? And I'm trying to scale out, but then he tells me I'll sell you 50. Okay, so now I go from 17, trying to scale out from being short 17 to being long 33. Right? Okay, so even though I wanted to be short, now I had to now what do I do with this 33? So I either try to scratch some of them or I try to get out. And if I wanted to be short and I got long because the broker sells me something or buy, so then I try to get out with my with the 33. I'm trying to get out at that point because I don't really want, not that I trying to guess which way the market's going, but there's also, if he sells me 50, there's probably some more stuff underneath that I can buy from him. So I'm not going to try to be long them all, especially if I wanted to be short. So sometimes you have to, it all depends on the situation. You had a split second to decide what you were going to do.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So since it's considered like open outcry, that's what they called it. So if you're standing next to a broker, aren't you still required to shout your orders out to let everybody know, or can you just do little side deals with someone standing next to you without having to yell what you were trying to do?
Yeah, well, here, you're supposed to shout it out, but let's put it this way: I'm standing next. I'm the broker, and you're the trader. I have an order. I say sell 10 at 15, and you buy them. And at 2 seconds later, it goes down to 12. I'll sell 10 at 12. Now, so I could put it out there to whoever, but you just bought 10 at 15 from me. I'm going to give you a chance to buy the 10 at 12 because it's going against you really fast, right?
Right.
So the right thing to do is to say, I'm going to sell you 10 at 12 also, not without putting it out to the market. I mean, you put it out, I'll send tell at 12 and you just kind of tap me on the shoulder, or I'll tap you on the shoulder because you bought the 10 at 15, right?
Yeah. Ouch.
So you're not, you're trading quick. Yeah, you're supposed to put it out there. So now, but basically now if I'm long 10 at 15 and 10 at 12, I'm going to like, I'll say I'll sell 10 at 14 or 10 at 11, then I'll put it out in the market to try to sell them, or I'll hit somebody across the pit, because you can hit somebody if somebody is bidding or offering something, you could say, I'll sell them to you across the pit without putting it out there, because he's showing the order to the market so you can hit him without having to put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's say that, so here's an instant where the broker sells me 300 quietly. He says, I'll sell you 300. And he tells them to me quietly because he knows that if he puts them out to the market, it'll probably go down. He won't be able to fill it at one price, but I will buy it from him at one price. Right.
Right.
And then I look around the pit. I know I got 100 over there. The guy's bidding for 100. There's 50 over there, and there's another 100 over there. Right. So for me to get that 250, and I know they're there because they're offering them or they're bidding for them, I'm going to say I want to sell 300 at whatever price, 12. And I know those guys are there because I looked at and I saw what was out there before I put it out to the market. And now, because I'm the one who made the market, who actually said I want to sell 300, and I only got 150, and I know there's another 100 lot that got stolen from me from the other side of the pit, then I can say, hey, I made the market. I want that other 100 lot.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Right. And so that's because I knew what was out there. I knew I made the market. Now, if you didn't make the market, they'll say, well, you didn't make the market. Somebody else made the market. Well, okay. But I know I made the market. So then you have to stand up for yourself and say, hey, give me those. Right. And somebody stole them from me. The responsibility of the broker is to give them to the person who made the market. Let's say if I offered 100 at 12, and I got 100, and then I go to him, I go, hey, where's your 50? I want your 50. I go, how many did you get? You offered 100 and you got them. So these guys took them. Okay, well, you're right. But if I said 300 at 12 and I got 150, and then I'm like, hey, where's my, what happened to your 100 lot? Then you got to stand up for yourself and say, that's you have to stand up for yourself. If you don't, then you get to run over. But let's put it this way. It's taken a lot of years for me to get to that point where I can actually scream at somebody else for stealing the trade. If you're a new guy, you can't scream at anybody. All right. If you were trading there, did you trade the blue band there while we were chit-chatting? Because I did.
Actually, I did.
Yeah, so did I. But Don, trade the blue band? I think Don's still colorblind. He needs to get you got to get him like blue glasses.
Exactly.
You got Brad wearing those black ones. You need to get Don with the blue glasses. That'd be, I would pay for it. Send him a pair. I'm sure you can find them in California because we don't have
glasses and some overalls, some new set of overalls.
Right? Well, he's got the overalls. That would be a look, and a 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, Poor Don.
He's not here to defend himself.
Yeah. 10-gallon hats.
10-gallon hat, the blue sunglasses, and the blue overalls. I mean, that's a look.
Yeah. That's the key to profitability.
Gotta make sure we get a video on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a look. Too bad he's not here.
I couldn't pull that off in California.
You could pull anything off. Are you kidding?
That's true.
They don't care what they do over there. Never seen you guys in California cry about anything how you guys look or don't look. You do complain about one thing. Oh, it's so cold. It's 50 degrees here. It's so cold.
Come on.
All you got to do is come here one day when it's 25 below wind chill, walk outside for a second. You'll never complain about 50 degrees again.
No, thank you.
You got to get your girls to acclimate it to some different. You can't keep them in California your whole life.
Oh, I'll get them out, but I'm not going to take them to that cold place.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take them to see a different side of the sun in sunny Florida, somewhere out there.
Yeah. All right. All right. So we are just bouncing around here. Both sides of our blue band got down to, well, it's kind of hovering around their pivot area. They traded off the top end of resistance there very nicely. At even, got up to 99.5. Again, you got to scale in a little bit. Talked about the difference in scaling in.
Any plans for the weekend, Sal?
Do I have plans for the weekend? No, my daughter might be stopping by. One of my daughters might be stopping by tomorrow.
How's your grandson? Is he big?
Is he big? Yeah, he got a Stuart. Welcome to our room here. If you have any questions, please jot them down in the chat box area. You got all the way up to 7 pounds now in a month.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's actually what his he was actually due. He was 1 month early, so
Right.
I guess he checked out okay. But he's a cute little guy. He's putting his head up now. He's opening his eyes more, looking at, following you a little bit.
Oh, that's so cool.
So kind of, yeah, it is very cool. Anyway, yeah. So of course my wife's there now because she needs. They don't invite me to go watch the kid. No.
They don't trust Grandpa yet, huh?
They're annoying. They are annoying. But I mean, they should trust Grandpa after all. I took care of him. So I'm like, I go to, I went to get a checkup because my kids made me go get a birthday. My birthday was a couple months ago, so to force me to go to the doctor. So I go to the doctor. They ask me all these like stupid questions, and obviously they're COVID concerned, so I understand that. But so then they ask you about sex assigned at birth, sex orientation, gender identity.
Are you serious?
Those are questions
That's nuts. Are you really a man?
Sex assigned at birth, gender identity, and sexual orientation. Okay, I understand a sex assigned at birth, but what is sexual orientation and what is gender identity? I mean, aren't they the same? But I don't want to go into this conversation. I'm just saying that's the question I was asked. I just left those blank and just I put male for sex assigned at birth and just, it is what it is.
That's nuts.
So let's take this out of here. Okay. All right, we are kind of hovering. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box area. All right, we're just kind of hanging here. Both sides of our pivot, kind of very quiet. The 78 got triggered already, so we're looking more at the 70 level now as our next support level that we have if we trade back down there.
Why is the pivot important, Sal? Is that more of another psychological level as well? Like the price always goes back to that pivot point, or
Well,
can you
it just
explain
seems
it?
like when the market trades off or away from it, it seems like an area that you should be concerned about only because of what it does around it. If we trade on both sides of it, it means kind of gonna have like the market doesn't really know what it wants to do. And then if we trade, once if we let's say we're trading on the long side or above the pivot, and then we rotate back to it and then start trading below it, kind of change your perspective on the way you should be trading. Maybe you should be looking more at being short than long. That's all.
Okay.
All right, we just drifted a little bit down to that. We tried to test that 75, bounced back up here a little bit. So kind of traded off of the first resistance area very nicely, and now coming back down here. So again, just kind of like here's that example where we talked about if we were trading above the pivot, now we came down below it. So maybe you're looking for places to sell unless we rotate, back above it. So the problem when it gets like this is that it's trading on both sides of it. So
Choppy.
that's why it's like uneventful. So, but we traded it. They got to the pivot, got to our blue band there, bounced off of the blue band a little bit, and then now, the first rotation to that blue band there might have been a little bit of a sale. Somebody wants the levels repeated. If we can show them up there.
Oh, there. Sorry.
Yeah, the 78 did work again. Now we're looking at the 70 area as the next support level. All right. So we'll see what it wants to do down here against the 70 area. It's kind of, like I said, kind of quiet. Unemployment's been kind of, at least it's not moving around crazy.
Did you mention Fed speak this morning? I thought you.
Did I mention what?
A Fed speak? Was there some talks this morning?
Yeah, they're talking. They talked at 9 o'clock, and then there's a couple 11:15 and 11:30.
Oh, well, that's probably what's waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, not really. It's not the main guy,
Oh, okay.
But because they can elaborate basically on what they said, which again, I don't understand how they actually sold it off like they did on Wednesday.
That was bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one-way trade, and I mean, they just nothing really changed. That's the part that I don't understand, is that everybody knew what they were going to do. So I don't understand. I don't understand why they got all panicky.
Not just an excuse to dump the market.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. Tis what it is. Anyway, so we are kind of quiet. Like I said, it is unemployment, so it's nothing much really happens here. Hey, you got anything planned for the weekend?
Just take the girls to the beach. Probably have a little picnic.
Oh,
It's gonna be hot.
oh.
Sorry about that. I'll send you some pics of what
Yeah.
the beach looks like.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah, do
Send
that.
me, send me pictures of the chilly wind out there.
I wish I could send you pictures of. I know. I wish I could make you feel a chilly wind.
Send me a picture of you dressed up in your boots and your fur coat and
Easy does it, Tiger.
playing
Easy
in,
does it.
playing in the snow.
Okay, I'll get right on it. I do not play in the snow, by the way. That I don't like to do. It's not my favorite pastime.
I didn't either. I was never into skiing or
No,
playing in the
neither have I.
snow when I was younger. It was too damn cold. It hurts too much.
Right. I mean, people who ski love it. You know, I got no interest. I never got into the winter sport. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like the cold. Let's put it that way. Of course, I live in Chicago, but I just don't like cold. But that's another story. It's all right. I don't mind it.
Well, you've always got a room out here in California, so anytime
You're
you
the
want to come
best.
out,
You are.
anytime you
I
wanna
mean,
come out.
I don't know what I'd do without you sometimes.
Gotta get you a room with the view.
Oh, gee, thanks. Always gotta. Supposed to be going out now. Vegas in February is going to be cold still.
In Vegas in February, yeah, it should be a little chilly.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're having this like golf tournament that I'm going to. That doesn't make any sense.
Is it for a charity or what's the event? Just a regular tournament or?
I don't know. These guys I befriended have this tournament in Vegas. Some guy lives in Vegas. He also lives in Chicago. He's a friend of a friend who I befriended this year, and so we started golfing a lot. And he's got this tournament. He has this tournament that he holds every year in Vegas at his club.
Oh, geez.
And so invited. He goes like 40, 50 people show up or are playing in the tournament. And so there's like a handful of guys from Chicago because he grew up in this area. And then he moved to Vegas. And then, so we're all, these guys do it every year. So they invited me to go this year. So I'll be there. It's going to be cold. I don't think it's going to be, it can't be colder than Chicago, but it's still going to be chilly.
So are we going to be able to see you on TV? Or, I mean, it's just going to be televised?
No. It's
Dang.
televised. Yeah, okay. No, it's just, no, it's not happening. Televised. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Let's see what Shaul does. He's stuck in the green right now, or stuck in the sand.
Yeah.
Let's be real quiet and watch him.
Yeah. And then we're trying to plan a trip. This is gonna be my my gift for my birthday is to go to
Better say California.
yeah, to go to California. What's the big golf course on the ocean there that I can't remember that everybody goes to? Geez, I can't remember the name right now.
One in California?
Yeah,
The Pebble Beach?
Pebble Beach. Yeah, they got Pebble Beach and Spyglass, and there's one more that we're supposed to golf there. It's going on a golf trip, and so yeah, that's like we're trying to plan it, but it's like it's just getting the dates and then having to deal with COVID, and so it's like there's always an issue going on right now. Can't get dates. You don't know whether to plan it or not. Yeah, so we're supposed to golf those 3 golf courses. There's one more, Spyglass and Pebble, and there's one more I can't remember. The guy goes that in July we can get a tee time. If you go into August, it's harder to get a tee time. June and July, I guess maybe.
That'll still be nice and warm.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, warm. Maybe it's going to be too hot. That's why maybe June, July. But that's okay. I mean, I don't mind heat. But he says we can get tee times. I don't know. It's a Spanish moss. I don't know. There's one more. I should ask my friend. Let me ask my friend here.
Maybe it's Trump's golf course.
Yeah. Brad's gonna pick up golf to just to, just
You
to
can
hang
get a
out with
tea
him.
time anytime at that golf course. I think it's something Bay. That's what they call it. I forgot. It's driving me crazy now.
Yeah, I'm asking my friend. Hopefully he answers me. He's the one looking at. So anyway, they said that if you stay, you have to stay at the resort. So they get you coming and going, right? The golf, the court, the tee, it's ridiculous to play each course, right? But you only do this once. So it's like you have to stay at the resort, and they charge you like X amount of dollars for staying at the resort, and that's the only way you get tee times.
Oh, really? You have to be a guest of the hotel?
Right. So that kind of, it is what it is, but that's no fun. So
Well, those rooms at Pebble Beach are very luxurious. I went to a car show there a few years back before COVID, and it was kind of the same thing. In order to get tickets, you had to stay at the resort.
right.
And I love cars, so yeah, you're right. They
Yes.
get you coming and going.
Yeah, they get you. I mean, they not only do you pay ridiculous tee charge to go play around there. Tee around there, it's like $400 or $500. So it's like another probably about $2,000 for the room plus another $1,500, and that's just the golf, and that's just for golf. That's ridiculous, but I guess if you do it once, say you did it once, and then and then my friend says that we have some like he's got a few friends that don't play golf, so they're looking into renting a home on one of the golf courses. And so he was showing me like the Airbnb at his house. It's like $2,500 a day.
Oh my God. Might as well stay at the resort.
Oh, but this is like a 5-bedroom house literally on the golf course.
Oh, nice.
I mean, right, you see the ocean out of your backyard. He showed me some pictures, but we wouldn't stay there because we can't. We'd have to stay at the resort. Right, it's almost right there, Philip. It's not Spanish Moss; it's Spanish Bay. Those are the 3 courses at Pebble. So you were close. It's Pebble, Spyglass, and Spanish Bay. Those are the 3 golf courses.
Yeah.
The guy said that we should actually play that Spyglass is harder than Pebble. And Pebble's right on the ocean there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't want to have a windy day, right? Anyway, that's we're planning it, but again, it's like by the time we get everything, all the signed and the dots dotted, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed, it's probably not going to happen.
So you're gonna do one trip with all 3 courses in one trip, or 3 separate trips? Okay.
It's one weekend. Like each day, you play a course. Yeah, what do you think? I'm going back there every week.
Yeah, it would be kind of nice. Make it a month-long thing.
There. So Philip played all 3. He said Spyglass is much harder. That's what the guy said too. Told him Spyglass is the hardest one. And my cousin actually did a trip to Ireland and played. There's like a set of 3 or 4 golf courses in Ireland that they have a golf tour that they go play, and you have to have a caddy there, and it's all as we slowly drift down here to our 70 area. He said he enjoyed that. He enjoyed that trip. He goes, he really liked it. You have to have a caddy because there's no like fairways or anything. They got to tell you where to hit it.
Oh my God.
It's like everything's wide open, and greens and fairways are on top of each other, and so you have to have a caddy with you so you know where to hit your shots. So it's pretty cool stuff. It's kind of slowly drifting down here. See what it wants to do. Yeah, we'll try the 70 area is our next support area. Got this 500 lot that just got taken out. Coming slowly down. Here to our 70 area. Market, if you were with froze for a second there. You were trading with us this morning, you'll see our levels that we gave out this morning. If you look at the chat box area, you will see the levels that we gave out this morning for everyone. There they are. And 70 is our next level of support here that we're going to be testing right now. Let's see what it wants to do down here. Again, just keep your stops in place. We don't not going to subscribe to loving any trade that we put on. And obviously we don't guarantee any trade we put on. So we just make sure we keep our stops. That's how we keep ourselves in the game. As this time we came down to the 70 area. All right, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. We are trading mini S&Ps here, looking for opportunities to scout the market. We had a nice rotation off of our first support level earlier this morning, and then another rotation off of our high there. We got right up to 9, and then we had 10, and obviously we are scaling into levels that we talk about. And if you were able to stay short against our 10, you did a nice job. And obviously we're trying to take right now about 3 or 4 points off of our trades. And if we can do that, that's good. And those are the kind of opportunities that we're looking for, at least today. Those parameters could change with volatility. But either way, you got to keep your stop in place. And there, it had to go down to 69. That was beautiful. It looked like a second there. We were, oh boy, we're going to be wrong, and then boom.
That was nice.
That was very. Oh, look at that, very nice. All right, that's a beautiful move here.
Man, I'll walk away and hey, what'd y'all do to the market?
Oh my God! You should have seen what we were talking. How we were talking. We were dressing you up there, Don.
We have a new look for you.
We were looking for you. We were thinking you went and got a wardrobe change or something. And we were talking about getting you a pair of because the blue band kind of got in the way. And then I asked if you took the blue band trade, and you didn't answer. So we figured you stepped away for a second.
I did.
And then we suggested that I think that Mark should get you a pair of blue glasses.
And then Sal said the 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, Ben.
The overalls with the blue glasses with the 10-gallon hat. That'll be a look there, Don.
I love it.
That'll be a look. All right, nice rotation there off of this time. Nobody can complain. We actually got filled at 70 this time. So nice little trade. Oh, hello there, young lady.
You can hear.
I hear.
She's up early today.
She is. She's been up.
Here, Daddy, let me trade. I can do this.
She took the 70 for me.
I take the 70 for you.
Yeah.
She probably still has it. Nice trade there against the 70 level. Nobody can complain this time. We got filled at 70. It got down to 69. And then pop right back up there. So nice little trade. Next support level we have is down at the 60 area. Again, we're looking for take opportunities to scalp the market. That's what we do here on an everyday basis, using the levels that we gave out. If any of this stuff interests you, we also teach what we do here, so that the goal of the course is for you to be an independent trader, to find these levels on your own, to know how to enter them, know when not to take them, know when to take them, make adjustments according to your price, to your risk tolerance, because everybody here trades differently, has different risk tolerances. That's part of the game. You have to understand your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly. So we work with each individual to try to maximize profits according to your risk tolerance. All right. So we continue to downtick here, but we had a nice pop off of our 70. And now we are looking at the next area down at 60.
Well, guys, I've had it for today.
All right, Don.
Today is Friday.
I don't blame you. I think we've done okay today this morning too, and I think we might be out of here as well.
And I got some stuff to do in the shop.
All right. Well, take care.
You have a good weekend.
Have a
Take
good
care,
weekend,
Mark.
Don. You too.
Talk to you. I think you're going to be going to home too. I think she wants breakfast.
She does. I was just gonna say. She said, "Daddy wants cereal."
Yeah, I can hear her. You want to eat? Keep telling them. Bond's really breaking down all of a sudden too. So maybe these Fed speaks are saying something.
Oh
Right.
wow, yeah. Take what I have and run.
Never know. Yeah, take your money and get out of here. Right. Nothing wrong with making money and leaving.
Bonds really are falling apart.
Yeah, bonds. Like I said, they're probably saying some stuff. I mean, this is where you do get on the heels of their statement the other day. Now they're going to elaborate, and you ask them a certain question, they're going to answer it. So, they answer it a certain way. It's going to create some volatility for sure.
Someone's going to say about what you said the other day. Let's talk about that again.
Yeah, let's expand on that.
Yeah, exactly.
So exactly what timetable are you looking at?
So for sure it's going to go down, right? Or go up.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I'm going to go make some cereal, Sal.
Yeah, I think you better. She's like really demanding it.
She is.
I don't blame her.
You have a great weekend.
Daddy, I want to eat.
She does.
What's going on? How do you like ignore your kid this way? It's terrible.
I'll be here in the background if you need the levels. I'll post them for you.
Yeah, well, there they are for everybody again. So in case you missed them, thanks again for helping me out on Fridays. I like chit chatting with you on
Always.
Friday. You have a good one. Have a good weekend.
Sal. Have a great weekend. Stay warm.
Easy. I will try.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Market here rotating off of our 70 area to give us a chance to scalp the market. Again, we're looking for these inflection points that create opportunity for us to trade. And that's what we are trying to do here on an everyday basis. You have to be patient. That's why if you can find a way to talk or find a way to be patient and wait for the trade to create itself instead of trying to create a trade, then you're going to be better off, I think. I know the tendency is to want to try to trade when the markets are moving around, but you need reasons to get into trades. Hopefully we give you reasons to trade. That's what we're trying to do here, and that's what we do in our education course that we teach. Try to give you different concepts and ideas of why you should be entering trades, and then the rest really it depends on your risk tolerance as a trader and what you're looking for and what your goals are. And so all these things do come into play once you decide, once you understand the risk, and then you have to adapt those risk tolerances according to what your goals are and what you're looking for. But again, we also focus more on the morning hours for us to give us our opportunities. There are good ebbs and flows in those morning hours. As the day goes on, sometimes they suck out a little bit of the volatility. Some of the ebbs and flows, the dynamics of the markets definitely change as the day goes on. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box area. Again, we focus more on the morning hours. First hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours of the day to give us our good opportunities. And like I said, the dynamics definitely do change. I think you can use the levels for the whole day. But sometimes you get these ranges in the middle of the day that are very quiet and very low volume and doesn't take much for them to move. And so the dynamics and even the one-way trade you get in the afternoon, because there's not that much volatility that can move the market both ways. Bonds here down ticking a little bit. I think kind of pushing S&Ps a little bit lower. I think you're seeing how S&Ps are, at least initially, going to be probably trading with the bond market, right? You would think higher rates, not good for the market. At some point, that'll change. Not that we look at one market or the other to give us any drive. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to trade against each other, but you got to remember, because of the government involvement in the bond market, it's tougher to trade the bond market because of how much involvement they have in it with all the quantitative easing and all the bond buying that they are doing. As we continue to drift down here a little, Whoa, I step away for just a second here and the floodgates opened up. Wasn't even expecting that. All right, so they got through to 60 very easily there. And now coming, just trying to see what it wants to do down here. Next support level we have is down at 51. And again, like I said, the dynamics definitely do change as the market opens up here and the afternoon trade starts. A lot less volume, but even though it's still kind of, we're still kind of in that morning stuff, but definitely the Fed speaks that are talking right now are creating some volatility. So you got to keep that in mind if you're trading. All right, and again, keep your stops in place. Right now we have resistance back around the 75 area. This is a perfect example where we tell you to make sure you keep your stops in place. Again, we don't love any trade we put on. We just make sure you keep your stops in place so that we don't get caught in any one trade. And then we look for the next opportunity. All right, you can see here they reject it quickly, and then you get this added volatility here with the light volume. So that does happen. And again, you have to be patient and wait for the opportunities. Right now, we got resistance back around the 75 area. All right, nice. Again, we got down all the way down to 50 54-ish, 53.75, and pop back up. Again, we probably got stopped out against the 60 area there. And now we're just going to floating back up here. Good resistance around 75 right now. Not to say they won't stop anywhere else, but that's where we have some better resistance. Again, if you're more risk averse, those are kind of trades that you're looking for. You're not trying to jump in here in the middle of this rotation off of the lows. It's kind of hard to say where it's going to stop. But at least if you're going to take a good technical analysis and make an area there where you think it might stop, the 75 would probably be a better area, at least in a little bit, right? I mean, we don't know if it's going to be that way when it gets there, but at least for right now, that's where it's at. That could change as well. Yeah, especially if it takes longer to get there or the price action is different. Again, you are a trader. You have to make those determinations on your own. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area, please. All right, market continues a little bit weak here. Again, probably started off with bond market kind of breaking off and then followed through here with us. And now we're just kind of trading here on the lows. Next support level we have is down at the 51. All right, below the 51, we got 42. And then I'm going to give you a 31 and then 23. Then all the way down to 08 in case we really kind of break down here. One being that it's Friday, being it's unemployment, you never know what kind of volatility or movement you're going to get. So below 42, we've got 31, 23, and 08. All right. Again, resistance right now would be at the 75 area, but that could change. We gave you some support levels on the downside. Hey, thanks for adding those levels on. If you look at the chat box area, those are the added levels that we have with us that are going to be used for the whatever might happen during the course of the day. Especially, we don't know what the market's going to do. We just know that they're going to. Those are the levels that we're going to use. And those are levels that we should kind of keep an eye on to give us opportunities to trade. And again, you get price action opportunities as well. But for the time being, right now we got resistance up at 70, 75 area. All right, again, patience is important. Waiting for the opportunities to present themselves to give us some goals to look at, some areas to focus in on. We have to be patient and wait for the opportunities to trade. We, on average, would probably trade about 4 to 5 trades a day, I would say. And I think we can get that rather easily, especially these days. But then there are, obviously, when we're talking about, there are days when we're not going to trade that much. We also focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade. And So averaging about 4 to 5 trades, we definitely, the longer you stay in the market, I think, and try to finagle some trades, and especially when it gets into a range, much harder to try to find good, legitimate opportunities that are going to make you some money. So but we focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities to trade, and that way we get a better bang for our money, so to speak. Any of this stuff interests you, let us know, as we are definitely have an education course so that you can do this on your own. The goal of the course is to become an independent trader and to find levels on your own, understand why you would use them, why you would look at price action opportunities as well, and understand when to trade them and when not to. All of these things dependent on some of the dynamics of the market, because dynamics of the market change as the day goes on. And we try to explain those to you as well. But most of our, like I said, we focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities, because we feel that we get a good, the volatility is there and the dynamics are there that are created in the morning versus the afternoon, which help us with our scalping opportunities. And scalping opportunities with our goals are dependent on volatility, and it varies with day to day, depending on how busy we're going to get. When we never know how busy we're going to get, because the markets they just don't tell us. wish we had a crystal ball and they're telling us how busy we're going to be, but we're not. And so consequently, we have to be patient and wait for opportunities to create, for the market to create them for us. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box. Again, we gave you our parameters to the upside, where we think we've got a little resistance up around 75, but that's for a time being. That could change, like I said. Next support level on the downside, we have down at 51. And then we've got the other levels. If you look at the chat box area, you'll find them. And they go to, and you'll see the levels on the downside that we've added because of the push down here. Again, we don't know which way they're going to go. I don't know if they're going to continue to do that or not, but in case they do, we have those levels to the downside. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Hey, Hilmar, welcome. I hope you have a happy, healthy, fantastic New Year 22. Hope everything's going well for you. And hopefully we get past COVID at some point in our lives, or maybe we learn to live with it or whatever, but this has got to stop. Right? Anyway, I hope everything's going good with you over there. All right, get back here in a bit.
Hey, we're coming to the end of the morning session here for this Trade Along live session with Saul. Any questions about our services, don't hesitate to ask in chat. I did send out earlier, and I'll send it out again, an opportunity to review our website so that you are clued into what the opportunities and offers are here. Focused on scalping and trading the S&P 500 E-mini. Saul has developed a trading strategy for himself. If you'd like to learn that strategy, you would learn that in his course and his training in the Trade Along Trading Academy, which I'm going to send out the link for. Review this website. It'll, if you click on it, it will drive you right in. Oops, I got the wrong one. Let me put the right one in there. That was for registering for this particular webinar as a guest. This is the one that says looking to trade better, review our services, and subscribe. And that's tradealongtradingacademy.com. I'll also send out, because I found it this morning here again, the opportunity to give you a discount based on these services. When I find it, I put it in until it's not there. So take advantage of it so you don't miss out. And there you go. Hey, Anand, how are you? Anupam, Bill, Christoph, still waiting on you. I know we've been going back and forth a little bit on awareness in Facebook. You still need to subscribe to either Saul's training / mentoring or mentoring / training. Gives you bonus access to this Trade Along live session. Or this session as a standalone subscription. It's nominal. Hey, Frank, how are you? Glenn, Hilmar. Nice to see you back, Hilmar. KG, Kent, Michael, Philip, Preta, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it correctly. So let me know back in chat. Hey, Robert, Ron, Sam, Timothy, Victor. Yeah, nice to see you. Hope everything is well out there in the stratosphere. It's funny, I've been watching, just as a side note, I've been watching Bitcoin a little bit. You know, I was watching it at, I think it was 46,000 and change. And I was looking to buy some crazy coin. So I stepped in and bought some Ethereum as a way to get into this other coin. In other words, you have to link everything up. The money goes into the coin, you know, in this case, through Coinbase. And I've been waiting for, it's almost 7 business days. Maybe it's 6 business days for my money to go from my bank account into Coinbase. I have a position, which is a small position in Ethereum. I've watched it erode significantly without any, I was trying to buy this other coin. So I figured I'd put the money in, be able to move it over, but it's not available to move over yet. And I thought it would have been today, but now I'm waiting for tomorrow. But the point of my story is I've been watching Bitcoin and Ethereum go down based on value. And it's going down like 7 or 8% or whatever it is. But when you're coming off 46,000 and change, almost 47, I'm looking up at the price now and it's 40, just a little bit above 41, if I'm reading that correctly. It might be 41,660 something. My eyes aren't what they used to be. And this screen is one of those screens. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's 41,650, 500 or something. But it's interesting that it drops almost in relationship to what's happening in the ES. So there's definitely, that's what sort of triggered Bitcoin to go a little wacky onto the downside, and it dragged everything else down. Ethereum has, my opinion anyway, and it's probably too thoughtful, is that Ethereum is the one that a lot of other smart contracts are connected to. And a lot of the other markets that are developing. I'm not sure about NFTs, but a lot of smart contracts and a lot of business is done based on using Ethereum. Bitcoin is a whole nother animal. I think it's certainly got the front row seat, but it is certainly volatile. And I guess you get the volatility on the way down and you get the volatility on the way up. Where I think it was as low as, we're getting into the 30s now, right? So what is the retracement from 67 was the high? 69 maybe? It's just interesting. But I think today it's hard to tell on these charts, from Coinbase. They're not as complete. But anyway, that is that. So if you want to sign up for Sol's trading education and his training, let us know. We can help you out with that. If you're not signed up for this Trade Along Live session, take a moment, sign yourself up so you don't get booted. Want to make sure everybody is playing fair and they're here for the right reason. And it'd be unfair to everybody else if you were not paying. But I think you know that already. Hey, Victor L. Hey, Victor, you have any questions about Sol Services? Sam R. Let me know. Ron O. Freyta. Hey, Philip, how are you? I'll be in the background if anybody needs me. Remember, take action on your end. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com. If you like what we're doing here, tell your friends. Go to that link, register for this particular Zoom webinar, which is a Trade Along Live session with Saul on a daily basis. It's an opportunity to really buckle down, receive Saul's proprietary scalping levels and zones, go through the morning session with him as your guide, as your wingman. It's very well received and we appreciate it. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com.